Welcome back, friends and fellow car mechanics. Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 and episode 26, where we are going to finish off this BMW. In the last episode, we took care of the top end of the motor. We have to replace this steering rack, this section of exhaust, transmission, and let's see what else it may need. Okay, so tie rods are good, at least on this side. Go ahead and pull these brakes. And if this rotor can be turned, we'll get it on the lathe. As you can see, our lift still is not showing. So I'm thinking I may have to install. Brakes are good on the driver's side, as are the outer tie rod and inner tie rod. We already have the starter out of the car. So we also need a release bearing, pressure plate, and probably a flywheel. Yeah, most definitely going to need a flywheel. So let's take a look at the work order. Still says we have one part not discovered for tapping sounds. Let's have a quick look at the rubber bushings. Okay, so those look good. We may have to drain the oil and take a look at what's going on underneath. That bushing looks good, so does that one. It could be one of the two bushings that I can't see. And you know what? While we're right here, why don't we go ahead and pull this lower control arm. Okay, we will check the other lower control arm. Okay, so let's come over here and pull this other lower control arm. Nope, those are good as well. We'll take a closer look at some of the suspension components before we burn the oil. That all looks good to me. That all looks good to me. As does that sway bar link. Not seeing any red from our inspections. Alright, so let's go ahead and drain the oil. And then we're going to pull that oil pan. And have a look at the underside of the car. From what I'm seeing, all the rod caps and Crankshaft bearing caps look good. The crank is 87%, so our issue is not there. So let's finish off our brakes. That one looks good. That rotor and caliper are not going to be savable. But luckily, I do have a rotor. Buy us a new caliper. And that'll finish off the brakes. So now, what we want to look at I want to look at this. Those are all good. Well, let's get the starter put back in this thing. We're going to put some oil in it. And I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to save us a little bit of time. We have the money. And we're going to get ourselves a test path. Now the test path does the same thing that the test track does. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to align the wheels. come over here. And we're gonna run our tests. As you can see, it tested every rubber bushing. Now we'll put it back on the first car lift. And what does it have to tell us? Still says part not discovered, which means we're digging back into this motor. We have checked everything we can. And now unfortunately, actually, before we go that route, as I said in the last video, this motor is new to me, so let's check and make sure that it's not something as simple as that crank pulley, or maybe something under that cover. Well, no, that's the engine block, so that makes me wonder, my friends. Because there isn't anything else underneath that but pistons and piston rings. And if there was something wrong with a piston or a piston ring, it would have told us during testing. I am well and truly stumped because I don't know what else it could be. I mean, I know I said that about the S2000 and how to get to that car part 1, but air filter's good on this. And as you guys are witness, we've run every test we can run, including a suspension test. I just don't know. This is gonna have to be one of those orders. The last thing we can do is check the springs. So in order to do that, we need to remove this sway bar front end link. No, they're all in the 70s. The hub is good. And those are all over what the car owner wants, so let's just take a look at these rear springs. 81%. That's 80%. Battery tray doesn't have a price. Or a percentage. There you go. We just found it. Though this isn't exactly the engine bay. But it says it because we can only get to it from the engine bay. And with that, my friends, didn't mean to have examine mode. That, sending this off, we are back up to 84,000. We haven't done an F-type yet. So we'll take that. And we'll call that an episode here. As I said at the end of the last episode, I will do this Eclipse and that Mustang off camera. So when we come back for episode 27, our account should be a bit higher. But with that, I hope you enjoyed. That BMW took us longer than anticipated. If you like the content, please hit that like button, leave a comment, share these videos, and if you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, as it takes only seconds and it doesn't cost you anything. And I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, whenever you may be watching this. Peace.